Different species of birds have different types of parental care. A few birds don't care for their offspring at all after laying the eggs, but most young birds require some care. This fluffy little chick comes from a sharp-tailed grouse. It's born quite well developed with down, and it can feed itself within a few hours after hatching. So this kind of chick is called precocial. It leaves the nest within a few hours. It can walk around, and all the parent has to do is guard it from predators. So in these species, it's usually the female that takes care of the offspring alone, because you don't need two parents to rear a chick that can feed itself. But many of the songbirds, like this young red-winged blackbird, are born much less well developed. They're almost naked, so they have to be brooded. And then it's usually the female that sits on them for several days until they can develop thermoregulation by themselves. And they need to be fed for days or weeks after hatching. So in those cases, it's often both parents, the male and female, that'll bring food for the nestlings. But in most birds, it's usually the female that does most of the parental care, so incubation, brooding, and then the male might pitch in with feeding the chicks at a later stage. Some bird species are with us all year round. Those are called residents, and others migrate away during the winter months, either long or short distance migrants. This black-capped chickadee is one of the birds that is found here all year. A lot of whether a bird stays or leaves depends on the kind of food that it eats. So a chickadee eats seeds, mostly in winter, and those are still available even when it's cold, so it can survive well enough even in cold temperatures. But birds that eat insects have a more difficult time. This tiny yellow bird is a yellow warbler. It's a long-distance migrant, so it breeds in the province, but winters in Central and South America, so flies thousands of kilometers south. Because insects disappear in cold temperatures, and it just couldn't survive at this latitude in winter. Then we have a few birds that are nomadic. So this is a crossbill. You can see the funny shape of its mandibles that are built for eating pine seeds in the cones of trees. And it will travel hundreds of kilometers looking for patches of tree cones that have seeds in them. So trees don't produce cones every year, but it can survive in winter as long as it travels and finds a good productive source of conifer trees to keep it alive. During winter, it's perfectly happy in cold temperatures. In winter, birds often look for sheltered sites to roost in that give them some protection from the wind. So they might rest or sleep either in dense bushes or sometimes in tree cavities. The chickadee is a cavity nesting bird, so it sleeps in a tree hole, which gives it some thermal protection during the cold winter nights. But they also have the ability to lower their body temperatures by 5 to 10 degrees overnight. They don't go into full hibernation mode, but by lowering the temperature, they save a lot of energy and can survive periods of snowstorms or like days when it's really hard for them to forage.